Hello and welcome back to Yay Basketball, the basketball game show. Monday, April 7th, 2025, streaming and recording live from the Yay Studio. I am your host and producer, Michael Padilla. Along with me today, I have one, John Bentley.
What up?
As well as one, Justin Moore.
Oh, hello!
Welcome back. And also back with us again, it's hardworking father of three, Trey Dishner.
Howdy, partners.
Hello there.
How's it going, guys? Glad to be back.
I was
Good
getting a lot
to
of the
be
people be
here.
like, you can't see, but he's got a cowboy hat on. They can't see.
They can't see.
They can't see.
He does not have a cowboy hat on. Thank you so much for being here today, everybody. We are so appreciative of you for listening and joining and watching and all that. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, rate 5 stars, share with friends, and follow us at Yay_basketball on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.
Add me on the ground.
Last time, we played over-under, one-on-one, and hit the curiosity corner to talk about some details of stuff going on around the league. And, what was the would you rather? It was the cantaloupes.
Cantaloupes or a tiger. Or that wasn't a tiger, but it was...
We did a mountain lion, I think, right? Yeah. So really riveting stuff there on YB. So be sure to dive into...
What a conversation.
It was a good one. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with the cantaloupes.
Speaking of cantaloupes, have you heard the grapes? If every grape that you ate that was in front of you was worth like $500,000 or whatever it is, but one of them killed you instantly, like how many grapes would you eat?
So you're saying I have to eat them to get the money?
Yeah, you have to eat them to get the money, but if you
Like
eat,
one random-
there's only one of them that'll kill you.
How
Every grape
many
I've
grapes
I've personally ever eaten?
No.
there?
There's a bowl of grapes.
Oh.
Just a bowl?
Bowl of grapes.
A small bowl.
I mean, all of them.
100 grand?
Per grape you eat.
No. Oh, per grape.
Per grape, but one of them, again, you die.
That's tough.
If
Yeah.
we have like...
I have a pretty
try
good
it.
choice. I'd do it.
I'm
if we have
eating
like
every
a
grape.
swimming pool full of grapes, I'll take 10 of them.
How much?
I would just grab
I'd take 10 of them.
I'll just grab one.
Of a swimming pool?
Like it'd have to be a large amount.
Honestly,
That's what I
you
would feel.
could tell me 15 grapes. Fucking blub, blub, blub.
I just take one.
hey.
I just grab I'm usually good with that.
Money's not everything.
Playing conservative this year.
Money's not
Yeah.
everything.
Always.
You just settle with
I
the
want
one.
some.
I'm taking
I
the
want
100
lit.
G's and I'm
For
out.
sure.
Anyway,
Good one to start the show.
sorry.
Also, go to yabasketball.com for exclusive YB merch. We've got t-shirts, mugs, hats, stickers, and hoodies. So I think here's one mug. I think I'm the only one that got one
I
today.
didn't grab one.
my
I
Damn.
didn't think about it.
Breaking the
Mudless.
rules.
Too busy putting together a
Mudless.
tree puzzle.
Yeah, puzzle. Let's see. This is the basketball game show after all. So before we dive into our first game of the day, Justin, can we get an update and a recap of our scores and picks from the last episode, please?
Yeah. Hey. Trey, you didn't make
Hey.
a pick. You did not make a pick. You weren't here.
Wasn't here.
But don't worry, you finished with 29.50 and a big second place.
Second.
Uh,
It's better than last.
Michael,
Yes.
you had Kristaps Porzingis over 18.5 points versus those Sacramento Kings. He had 16. So you lost 100 points.
Yeah.
2,000 points leads you in third place. Who got first? Who got last? Right? If you weren't paying attention all month, you would not know.
That's true.
You would not know
You have no
that
idea.
John had Peyton Pritchard at 11.5, over 11.5 points versus those very same Sacramento Kings. He had 22. Big game for the Pritch man, which means you didn't finish in last place. You finished in first place with
Congratulations.
3,300 points. I indeed had Giannis over 51.5 points. Rebounds, assists, first Phoenix. He had 46. So still a big game.
Good game.
Just not big enough.
31,
Had a
10,
huge
5.
game later, but you
Yeah,
know,
crazy game later.
see.
So in his first month with us, John wins the month.
Hey,
So we better hand
look at
better
that.
hand the goods.
Let's hand
over.
it on over.
All right.
Here you go, John.
Here's the trophy, my friend.
I guess.
The crown, my friend. Thank you very much. And then Trey, since you get second
that's
place,
up.
here's the second place trophy. Fantastic. Congratulations. Well earned.
All right.
All right, so that is where the points are for last month. We will start the new month, of course, with 1,500 points for everybody. That is what we do around these parts. And we are going to dive into our first game of the day. And our first game of the day is Over Under. That's right. It's over under. Pretty straightforward game here. I will list a stat from around the league. The three of you then work as a team to determine whether the actual stat is over or under the given prompt. If you get it right, you get 100. If you get it wrong, I get the points for that round. Sound good, team?
Sounds good.
I'm ready.
I get it.
We've played it several times. I would hope you know by now. There's only one of these. Do you want to up the points to start the month?
No.
It's not hard. It's pretty normal.
I'll give you a hard.
Regular 100 points?
Sure, why not?
Okay,
Keep
fine.
it easy. Gentleman's agreement.
Okay. Round one.
Okay.
SGA's over-under in the Thunder's 126-99 loss to the Lakers yesterday. Over-under, minus 15.5. Closer to zero was
It's
higher.
over, yeah.
Yeah, it's over.
They had to pull people, right?
Over under.
Welcome back, David, and welcome back, Vernon.
Minus 15.5.
I'm gonna say.
You say
under.
minus? You say under?
So he was a minus 15.5
Minus
on his
15.5 is
plus
the line.
minus.
That's the line. That's the over.
So when he was on the floor, according to that,
Oh,
they lost by 15.5.
gotcha. His
Either
his
more
over.
than that or they lost by less than that.
For some reason, I don't think he played well.
Yes, no, it was a
I
big
think He
blowout.
played poorly, but I
think they
he
pulled
played
people.
enough.
All right, let's go under then. Fine.
I was gonna go.
I think it's a surprise. But if you want to go over,
over is closer to zero. So over
Oh.
would be you would say if you're saying over, you're saying he only was a minus 10, not a minus 1.
Oh no. I'm with you guys.
Under.
Same. Yeah.
under, let's do it.
All right, let's go with under.
Under, final answer.
Yeah.
You got it.
Woo!
Good job. Well done. Yeah.
That was interesting wording on that.
It's how
With
we-
the plus
how we-
minus, it gets a little wonky.
That's how we do negatives. In what was one of the most exciting weeks in the league this season, we saw a potential conference final preview. After potential conference final preview, the Warriors got big wins over the Lakers and Nuggets. The Lakers blew out the Thunder. The Rockets beat the Warriors by holding Steph to only 3 points. And suddenly, the Clippers are the 5 seed. John, what was the biggest win of the week in the West? What did you learn from these matchups, and what are you expecting from these series matchups?
I think everything is still so close that I don't think any of the wins pushed anyone ahead. Like I don't think any of the games individually were necessarily anything that would push you back or be like considered a big win. I would say Houston holding Steph Curry 2 3-points and winning that game handily. Like I think that was big for that young team being in position. I think they're locked into the 2nd seed now. That's probably what I would say just for a young team needing inspiration after barely missing the playoffs last year. Is what I would call the biggest win, since personally I don't think any of the games matter per se.
Well, I mean, they matter for seeding a
they
lot.
matter.
But you
For,
just
se-
mean
for,
in
they
terms
matter.
for
of,
seeding,
Yeah.
and I just think we still have enough time that there's still going to be movement. So
Yeah. I mean, there's
That
only,
just-
like, Lakers only have 4 games left. The Rockets only have 4 games left, I think, as well.
yeah, I think
Or 5. It's close. I mean, in terms of seeding, all these games were very important.
Yes.
But I know what you mean in terms of, like, what we're going to see down the road, maybe.
with everyone essentially having the same amount of games left, and I just think there's going to be movement.
Yeah.
People are going to beat each other. People are going to still slide and move.
Real quick, want to give a shout out to one of our day oneers who is back in the chat. Jorge is
Jorge.
back
Jorge!
here.
Shout out, Jorge.
Welcome back, bud. Good to see you again.
Hey.
Says, miss you guys. Hope everybody's doing well.
Hey,
Healthy,
Jorge.
happy, and safe. Yes, good to see you again, bud. I think the only counter to that I would have is, you think there's any angle of the Lakers being in the Thunder's head a little bit, just because younger team, Luka, kind of beat up on them a little bit last year, and then they beat them the way they did?
No, but only because the Thunder are so far ahead.
Okay.
I do think that's a thing. I think Luka being this new part and adding some excitement to the Lakers, that's something to like make you think and to be concerned about. But I just don't think that Thunder are worried about like showing anyone their cards or doing anything new at this moment. Let's get to the playoffs with everyone healthy. They have quite the lead, so
So you
I
don't
don't
much-
think it's in their head too much.
So you're not putting much stock into the Thunder-Lakers game yesterday?
No,
Okay.
not personally.
Justin, what was the biggest win of the week in the West? What did you learn from these matchups, and what are you expecting from these series matchups?
So like I guess for sake of argument, let's say the playoffs are this 1 through 8, right? I don't think that any win or loss from the Thunder or the Rockets can really mean anything to those teams. I don't hate that, like, oh, we held them to a situation, but the Rockets have been playing great defense all year long.
Yeah.
I think both the Thunder and the Rockets are like, we are the seeds we're going to be. So, yeah, we're not going to go out and just, like, throw games, but I don't think that, like, I think they're just like, we need to kind of go through the motions a little bit, but we also are going to see some different things from them potentially as they prepare for maybe new things to throw out there in the playoffs. Get some people some time just in case. You want some people to rest. You don't want anybody getting hurt.
Yeah, but that's not what the Thunder or the Rockets did this week.
But again, just because you don't, like, so for the Thunder, right? Just because the Thunder don't rest SGA doesn't mean they're going out there like, we gotta fuck these guys up, like, hell yeah. Like,
I hear
there's
ya.
just levels to that.
To his point, I would put more stock into the Thunder losing a close game. You know, if they would have been, if SGA has a big game and Luka outduels him and it's super, like, I think that's something that would get in their head more than, I mean, hey, we lost this one.
Yeah, I see.
And the Lakers went
see
crazy from 3. They hit,
Yeah,
what was it,
like,
22
that's
Yeah,
threes
like, I think
in
that
the
doesn't
first half.
usually happen.
I'm not taking anything away from the Lakers. We know I don't like them, right? I'm not going to be like, oh, they only won that game. They played well in that game. I just can also say that, like, the weird thing with the Lakers is when the Lakers have a big win, we're like, and by we, I mean general voices around the globe are like, the Lakers are winning every game forever, and they're going to win by 50 points, and there's nothing you can fucking do about it. Everyone's going to be painted purple and gold. And when they lose, it's like, oh my God, burn the whole city down and trade everything.
Well, that's Lakers
Typical
fans.
LA.
And that's typical, like, you know.
But that's also
big-
national media,
big-
right?
I would say because they want the Lakers to go do well, that I think that the Lakers Warriors game was kind of underplayed. Although, you know, I mean, Pajemski and Draymond combining for 10 threes, and, like, it was still somewhat close, 5 points with 40 seconds left. You know, if the Thunder Lakers game was that kind of game, Nick Wright kind of made this point, but if it was that kind of game, you kind of put more stock into it. But you go, the Lakers, like, they barely beat the Thunder and they shot so well, but they beat the brakes off of them and they shot well. So if that comes kind of down to the mean, you know what I mean?
Sure, but also we're 12 and a half games up. We don't have to try that hard. Like,
I just don't think they're that kind of team, though.
and yeah, everybody keeps saying that, but I just think that's nature. I think that's just who people are.
I hear you.
When it's a regular season game. If this was the first game of their playoff series, I'd go, that's not fucking good. Like, oh no.
Yeah.
But it's just at this point in time, you're like, we've done our job all
true.
season long. And I guess my bigger kind of thing is, and this goes to, like, kind of general discourse, is all year long, I've been like, I don't believe in the Thunder as a playoff, like, gonna win the title, like, juggernaut, right? And all season long, I've been hearing, they're so amazing. They're all-time great. They're this. And then just one loss to the Lakers, and we're going to be like, well, look at that. You know, they were obviously all cylinders. Everybody played. Da, da, da.
Well,
so, like, I'm just like,
there
man.
can be something in the middle, though. I didn't say either of those things. I mean, I have been giving the Thunder credit all year because they are incredible. And you're right, they are breaking season-long statistics.
Yeah, but I just don't think that necessarily these games mean a lot for, yes, the seeding from, at this point in time, probably not 3 to 8, but more like 4 to 8, right? Because it's all so tight. So for those teams, the losses mean such, like Denver losing and Jamal Murray's injury. That's very concerning for them. I think the Clippers rising back to 5, and basically, so pretty much what you're saying is they have the tiebreaker over all those other teams. So, like, they kind of control their destiny in that
same
regard.
record, 5 through 8.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. So when you look at it that way, I go, that is important for those teams, a little more so than those. Definitely the top 2. I think the Lakers are probably obviously going to stay in 3. It's still the only thing that's going to change my mind about, like, my pick through the Western Conference is the Jamal Murray injury. That's the only thing. If he's obviously injured and not going to go, then that would change things. Other than that, nothing has changed my opinion on any of these teams, except for potentially what I've seen from the Rockets over the last couple weeks. I'd probably take them a little more seriously. They look a little bit better than I thought potentially later in the season, but that'd be where I was at with them.
Trey, talk to me.
Yeah, I had a few games that stuck out to me. Definitely the Rockets, Warriors, seeing that team hold Steph Curry to 3 points.
Crazy. I had to double check to be sure. I wasn't
Crazy.
getting
I was
centelled.
like, is this like a quarter?
I thought I was getting centelled for real. I was like, what?
So, like, that team is very deep, and there's a lot of teams that try to do that to Steph Curry and that team, and they attempt it, but this team has the depth to do it. They have a lot of defensive-minded players. They have a player like Dylan Brooks who can get in your head. Amon Thompson can run your point, and he can play both ways of the ball. He's a freak. I think that dude's gonna.
Both of them look.
Yeah,
really,
his
really
stock is very high. Alperen Şengün was even like he understood what to do to help out like up top with Steph. So that was nice to see. But the other game that stuck out to me was the Indiana Pacers and the Nuggets. Seeing the Nuggets lose their 4th game in a row.
Yeah.
That is, yes, they lost Jamal Murray. Jokic played a great game. He always plays great. But like to see them losing 4 in a row, that's something to worry about. The team to look out for, though, is definitely the Rockets. I think this team is going to make a run and could be the team to look for.
So right now it would be, if it all fell the way it is, it'd go Rockets, Wolves. You would pick the Rockets over the Wolves?
I think the Rockets have what it takes to take down the Wolves. Yeah. I think because they could scheme onto Anthony Edwards and do the same thing they did to Steph. Because if you make, I mean, Ant's been shooting really well this year, but if you can, they have the players to get to lock them down. And then you have Rudy Gobert, yes, but other than that, yeah, I think the Rockets get them, and maybe I think it goes 7 games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it could go 7 games.
I think Ant could be worse. I mean, yeah, I think Ant, even with exceptional, really, really tough defense from the Rockets, I think he's probably worth a game or 2 in a playoff series.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
especially this season when he's shooting the lights out. It was funny that he became, what was it, the 6th player ever to hit 300 threes in a season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Steph 5 times, one of those Wilt things. Steph 5 times, blah, blah, blah. And the graphic that I saw was like Ant, obviously, like in the front, like 300 threes, and it was everybody else that had done it, but also Malik Beasley from this season. Just like tucked in the back. I was like, oh, all right, Malik, okay. Yeah, so so I was watching the Warriors-Lakers game on, was that Thursday, I think? And seeing that, you go, good God, Brandon Pajimski, holy moly. But it's like, is that reliable, right? But in the same way that you look at, like, when a Dalton Connect goes crazy, or like a Cason Wallace hits 5 threes, kind of things like that, you're like, are these guys, like, are they reliable enough? Except the Warriors were 13-0 with that starting lineup, right? They beat they beat the Lakers and the Nuggets in back-to-back nights. Very impressive. So that Rockets win to me was like, that was a statement game.
Yes.
That was I guess not a statement game from them, but from my perspective, it was a shocker because I would have picked the Warriors in that game last night.
Yeah, and real quick, Jalen Green was huge in that because he closed out that quarter with 10 points, and like he almost made Steph fall a couple times. Like it was wild.
They look good, and the thing about these young teams is that they get this momentum and they get that energy from wins like that. So I do think that while I agree, the Thunder, once you're down 15 in the second quarter, you're kind of like, all right, whatever. But also, I do think there is something to be said about you kind of do want to establish, like, we can beat these guys. We are, we're capable of it. Not that they think they can't, but that's why I like the Rockets-Warriors game. I look at that and I go, like I said, I would have picked the Warriors. If I had $1,000 to bet, I would have bet the Warriors on the Warriors over the Rockets last night, and they beat them the way that they did. It's not like Steph had 50 and they just held everybody else to nothing. That was like, we're getting your guy and he's doing nothing. Who is one of the greatest, greatest shooter ever.
It's also a test coming into the playoffs for your young defensive stars. It's like, hey, there's a Hall of Famer, and unquestioned when he leaves, he's going first ballot Hall of Fame.
This is what you have to do every game.
Go lock him up. Don't worry about anything else. That's an angle that you have to play from, like, throughout the playoffs. Like that team has a lot of talent.
And I think that they're young and overlooked, whereas the Thunder are young and, like, probably the conference favorites, I would say. Well, they're definitely at least, Vegas, but I just mean, like, in public opinion probably is still picking the Thunder just because they're so exceptional and have been all year. So the Rockets kind of have that edge. They kind of have that, we have to prove ourselves. But then also going into the playoffs, I guess the Thunder kind of have that as well because everybody's like, oh, they're too young. They only have one playoff series together, or 2 playoff series together, one run. But I was surprised about the Lakers Thunder game yesterday.
It's crazy how you build these teams in the draft because they've had like 3: Jabari Smith, Jalen Green, Cam Whitmore's even, like, he was talked about a top. He should have been a lottery, but they've had like
he
two or
slid for some
three
reason, yeah.
top
I
5
think
players.
they're missing. They don't have minutes for him right now in the
They got
rotation.
too many guys.
But I mean, like, yeah,
They're just
Shingun.
deep.
He didn't even
They're
mention
deep.
Shingun just now. Like,
Yeah, they got too many guys. That's
it's
a good problem to
crazy.
have.
Wiseman
Yeah.
in top 5 picks. Like they've in the last couple of years, they've had those guys
Oh,
that they've
yeah,
gotten in
yeah.
the top 5 picks. So like they're building like kind of like the Warriors did. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. This whole time we didn't mention the Clippers once. Are we nervous about the
Man.
Clippers? You're the only one that on this the whole
serious.
season's been
Yeah.
saying look
Clippers
out
are
for the
scary,
Clips.
yo.
So
Clippers are scary.
If
I
James-
watched
if
it.
James
Harden
Harden
don't get hurt,
Not even that.
Yeah.
Not
Or
even
Kawhi.
Kawhi looks.
Kawhi too.
Kawhi looks great right now, man.
yeah. I mean, if it,
I just-
so
I think we don't have anything to say about them because like they are all veterans. We've seen all of them do it before, and it is a matter of are they going to be healthy?
that's the thing is they probably have the largest asterisk of anybody in the
What
conference.
if?
And I don't disagree with that. I genuinely believe that this has the potential to be one of the greatest playoffs I've ever seen. Obviously,
yeah,
if everybody's
for sure.
healthy,
I
this
hope
could be the most like holy crap.
Yeah.
In the
You
West.
know what sucks?
In the
Kevin
West.
Durant.
I was about to say we
Not
don't have
gonna be
Kevin
in it.
Durant.
Not gonna be in the
No,
finals.
the Kings aren't in it.
Well, they're 9.
yeah.
I mean, they can be. The Mavericks could be there. I doubt it.
Well, real quick,
I don't even
can
care
we
about the Kings
vote
anymore.
the
But
play-in out just this year? I
Right,
like it.
right.
I like just this season though. I like this line. Let's go with these 8. Keep it right how it is
So
right now.
But Nick Wright made a point as well of like the first year it was you had to be within 4 games of the play-in or of the 8 seed to get there. So maybe there's like a like a checkpoint at some it's like if you aren't within like you have to qualify for it. You can't just
That'd be nice.
automatically be 9 or 10 and then get a shot to be the 8 seed. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I think that maybe bringing that back because there's an 8-game difference here between the Grizzlies and the Kings, and the Grizzlies have slid. They fired their coach. They're Jaws barely played. They're having trouble in the huddles and all this and that. So not saying like they deserve to be the 8 seed, but also the Kings are 8 games back. You know what I mean? I don't think that they should.
they're not gonna.
I don't know that they should
shouldn't even
have a chance to fight their way in. Is what I'm
The
saying.
Monsters is
And
talking about getting
can
traded.
I can kind of get with that. The only, I guess, issue I would foresee. Let's just say we said that, and let's just say next year the standings were all the same, except the Sacramento Kings were only 2 games behind the Memphis Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm.
So now just the Kings and the Grizzlies play a playing game.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I guess,
Yeah.
but like and then nobody on the eastern side plays a playing game. Like that's where I think you blanket,
Yeah,
you just
well,
blanket, you just go, this is the rule
marketing-wise,
for
it'd
these
be
4.
tough, yeah.
That's why I think that's the bigger situation
Yeah,
there.
for sure. And like it's money. Each game is worth money now. So.
Yeah, you're the Sacramento Kings now get one more home game that is kind of a postseason game in their building,
Yeah, it's a big deal.
and so
it won't be a home game, but yeah, I hear
it
you.
will be.
No.
They'll play the
Oh,
Mavericks.
the 9-10. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
had it
so
in
they-
my mind.
they
I had it
get- yeah.
7-10.
They get to play
they
the
get the home
Mavericks,
game.
and
Right,
then
man, I forget that
of that,
seven-
yeah.
And then the
So,
winner
like-
plays the Grizzlies
or whoever loses the 7-8 game.
no,
That's
wait a
Okay,
minute.
gotcha.
and so
Is
that's
that
what
how
I
it
don't
is?
hate
Scroll up,
it.
look at the bracket.
Don't get me wrong.
It's not. Wait,
What
how's the plan?
Oh yeah,
the 9-10 play each other in the
Yeah.
7-8, and the
Okay, yeah,
loser
that
of
is
the
what it
7-8 plays the
Plays
winner
the-
of the
yeah.
9-10,
Yeah.
who then has to go play the Thunder.
That's right.
I think realistically, what it does, the only other way I would say change it is if we're going to get rid of it altogether potentially, and then maybe even give the 1 seed a bye. Like that's the only way I would look at something.
you
like
can't do
that.
that.
We need
gotta
the
get
Timber
enough-
series.
We got to get some data
That's-
to see
but-
how many times it
Yeah.
finishes to where the 10 seed jumps someone in those, and they end up being 8 games behind. If the Mavericks somehow
Mavericks
ended
ain't
up
doing
being I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I get it, though.
AD
No, that is a
against
good
Jaren
point.
Jackson, he could.
I don't.
We need the Timberwolves in that.
I
spot.
don't know that a 9-10 has won a playoff series.
Yeah,
No.
because
I just don't know. I honestly don't know because like the
I don't think
Heat-
so either.
Were they Heat a 7-8, or were they a 9-10 when they went to the finals? That's what I don't. I just
they were
don't know.
7-8.
I think they were
yeah,
And I would
7-8.
assume so, but I don't know.
And
I know
think
they
it's
had to
bi-
win 2 play-in games. I know that.
I think
So they had to be an 8
almost
seed.
every situation has ended up with the
Well, or a
7-8 still
9.
making the playoffs. I could be wrong. I have not double checked that at all, but
I just don't know. Yeah.
I know last year, and there have been a lot of seasons where you see your 8 seed lose to the 7 seed, and then they beat the brakes off of the 9 or 10. So
Yeah.
So like,
it still ends up working out, and everybody the extra home game is a very big point because it could potentially be 2 more games that you end up playing.
I just like it from the entertainment value. That's all.
I like the play-in. I do. I just don't.
Just this season, it doesn't. Yeah,
the Kings, especially what they've done this season, and in particular, firing Mike Brown, panic trading De'Aaron Fox, and bringing in Levine. I don't necessarily think that them as a whole deserve it. Like
yeah.
I get that.
And the biggest thing is they're 8 games back. It's not even, you're not even in the same realm as the bad sliding 8 seed right now. There's levels to this, and that is a big gap there, and that's the biggest gap of all the outside of the Thunder, obviously, of all the teams that are still in contention for the playoffs. That's the biggest gap is from the 8 to the 9.
I hear you.
So let's say it goes like this, right? Let's just say it's chalk in terms of the play-in.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll scroll down because it'd be a little easier to see. So. It'd be Thunder Grizzlies. That's a 4-0, yeah?
I don't know that.
Yeah.
I think that
you think the Grizzlies
maybe
get one?
I think they'd get one.
Gentlemen,
I think they'd get one.
I think they could get 2.
I don't think so.
Oh.
They're
I think the coaching
they're really
situation.
bad. He's
like,
yeah, I think the coaching situation.
I'm just saying they could.
They're not getting more.
well, yeah, anything's possible, but they've been like really bad over the last like 25, 30 games.
No.
Warriors Rockets. We just talked about that. This one would be fun. Lakers Warriors.
That would be.
Oh, you said Rockets Timberwolves. You said Rockets
going
Warriors. And I was like, what?
Lakers
Rockets.
and-
Yeah, Lakers Dubs 3-6 matchup. That goes.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
It'd be a lot of fun no matter what. 2 legends on the court.
I think the
gonna be a lot
Lakers
of fun.
take it. I don't know how many games, but
I think so too, but yeah, I think it would be a crazy
You don't think
matchup.
I don't
Lakers
know
would-
that they take
Yeah,
it. I'm
they
not. I don't know.
No,
I'm not
Grant,
saying that.
that's my
Might
With
go
the way
7
that
games,
the
but they're gonna
Warriors
take it.
started the season, and then the way that they've heated up recently, like losing to the Rockets is a big loss. But I mean, like they're the 2 seed. Like they're
bro, LeBron and Luka are going to turn
team.
on a different. I'm not.
I mean,
trying to,
I understand
They're
the
they're
star
going to do
power,
it,
but
but
like-
you
but
should
hold on.
see it. Like
Yeah,
they're going to
Steph
do it.
and Jimmy. Like, what are we? You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
no, hold up.
It's true.
Two different type of players we're talking about here.
Draymond and Jimmy. Let's just talk about defense.
yeah, like Draymond and Jimmy. can guard those guys.
Yeah.
It'd be a good series. I'm not saying it's not, but the Lakers are going to win that series,
Hey.
guaranteed.
I mean, they just
Maybe.
lost
So,
to them
it'd be
a
a-
couple nights ago.
I look
so
at it as a
I
7
think
game
it'd be
series.
very
I
competitive.
just think the Warriors would win in a 7-game series. That's all.
I think it'd be close.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a 7-game.
The way
as
you're
well.
talking, I'm
6
assuming
maybe.
you got what the Lakers in what 5?
I think
I
we got.
think- I said I don't know.
Talked
But
about
I
so
think
far
yeah,
as a sweep.
What?
I'd be confident in that.
Just anybody want to? We're just all yelling over
sorry.
one another. I would probably go Lakers, but I think it'd be close. 7 games probably. Just because I mean those guys always duel it out, right?
Yeah.
Always duke it out.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also, like I said, the Warriors Lakers game the other night. Are we counting Pajemski and Draymond for 10 threes? Throughout the series.
Are you counting Jimmy to have a bad night?
He didn't have a bad night.
But I don't
He
know
didn't
that
have a good night.
I don't
he
know
didn't
that
have a great night.
He had like
but
11
he had
points.
Yeah, but I think that's what his role generally is going to be on this team. I don't think he's going to be the 25 a game guy that we saw in Miami. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think his role on this team is fill in the gaps when Steph's not there. Be the guy that can create his own shot when you don't have like the fluid offense or when stuff breaks down.
Sure.
High IQ, killer defender, energy guy, playoff Jimmy. But I don't know that we're getting that level of playoff Jimmy that we had a couple years ago, where I wrote a fucking soliloquy about him at the start of a show.
Yeah.
I don't think that guy's coming back.
I don't think he has to be that level of guy.
Kaminga had a great game.
But again,
there.
like 11 points, I feel like is kind of
But
that weird
can I-
nomenclature. But
Can I repose your question? Rather than it being Draymond and Pajemski, what about it's
Sure.
Kaminga and Pajemski? What if it's Moody and Kaminga? What
If
if
you're
it's
getting any
Draymond and Moody, or whatever combination of 2 or 3 guys that give you 8 to 10 threes. I do think they have that opportunity each game. And then I also have a question with that 4-5 matchup. Is that a nightmare with Jokic having to go up against Zubac?
I think it's a nightmare for both teams for different reasons, because nobody wants to see anything. Again, asterisk here. Let's just say everybody's healthy, so Jamal comes back and Kawhi is playing. I don't think the Nuggets have anything for Kawhi or James Harden, and then obviously Zubac would be, I guess, one of the better choices. But
Exactly.
nothing.
he
Nobody's
ain't
doing
gonna stop
anything with
Luka.
Jokic.
Yeah, he ain't gonna stop Jokic.
Nobody's
he
doing
might
anything.
stop him.
But I mean,
like
it's about
25
making him work
points,
hard.
but
It's a series, It's
Right.
about slowing him down for enough games that you can take a couple that you maybe shouldn't take.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if the other guys are hitting.
That'd be tough. That's been your sleeper all year against your pick to win the West. What do you think that series would do?
That's a terrifying series. I think it's a 7-game dogfight.
Yeah.
I look at all those, but here's the thing. I look at the majority of those series as roughly the majority of it as 7-game series.
Yeah.
Here's what's going to happen. A bunch of 4-1s. This is what it's, because I say that, and it's going to be like, nah, it's super boring every time.
No, you're
like,
probably right.
That
damn.
makes Pistons going to be.
We're all this hopeful for really good basketball like that, and it just.
Well, but I mean,
You look at it,
the
you go, it should
matchups-
be.
The matchups are crazy.
But then again, next week, this could all look different.
that's true.
That's
Tomorrow,
the
All
other
these
everything was
matchups.
different. Yeah. Tomorrow
Day to
could be
day,
different.
this is just.
That's
gonna,
what I'm like, yeah, like
this
if
is
it
gonna be
falls
fun
like
week.
this is for me, who, if Jamal is healthy, obviously, I'm picking the Nuggets, right? I've done that all season. I'm not coming off that. Obviously, Sands, his leg falls off, right? But I don't, that's the one team I don't want them to play, if I'm being honest with you.
The Clippers?
Yeah. Because I think the Clippers are disastrously scary, and I think we're due. We're due for terrifying Kawhi Leonard. Like, we're
Coming back.
yeah, like we're kind of due for that. Why not win a third ring with a third franchise, giving another franchise their first ring,
That'd be
and
wild.
then he's like, "My knees are dead, so I am gonna peace out."
But I do think you're nervous
the Clippers are not
if you're the Nuggets and you gotta worry. You gotta think about Michael Porter or Aaron Gordon having to guard Kawhi. Who are
Yeah,
we
what's the
sending?
matchup?
no. That's yes. That's why.
It's-
That's why I'm scared of
Oh
them.
man, yeah.
That's why I don't
You
want
got to
them to
throw
play the
Peyton
Clippers.
Watson on him.
Yeah, like I don't want them to play the Clippers. That's the
Yeah,
one team I
but
don't want them to play in the
Maybe
first
not the whole game though.
No,
you know,
no, he's just a young
especially
defender
just
that
because you
could
got to
throw on him,
keep Porter shooting on the floor.
for sure.
Nuggets looking uncharacteristically out of whack.
Maybe you
recently.
just start Jokic at point.
I mean, he plays
Start-
the point anyways. What's
True,
the
but
difference? He's
start
not
him
dribbling with
at
the ball.
it.
He
So,
already is.
and then put
Oh, you
DeAndre
mean
Jordan
in
in.
another.
Have him play from the top.
I was
Hey.
already listen,
How many
I
minutes has that guy got in this?
I
year?
was already telling Michael this before y'all got here. Whether they could sweep the entire playoffs and win the finals by a record margin, 50 points a game. And I'm still trading Jamal and Michael Porter Jr. this offseason. I'm still doing that because I think at this point you have to put more around Jokic at this point.
What's Murray's contract situation?
Yeah, I'm with you.
He
on
just
that.
got a max.
Oh no. 5 years, $160 million, locked in until 2029.
Yeah, gotta trade him. And that, he's still young enough that
That's
you can trade him to a
Nobody's-
team that needs a person.
Nobody's trading for him.
Yeah, they would.
Somebody would.
This
but
is the
I
NBA.
mean, New Orleans would, but then he's gonna his
Maybe a
legs gonna
draft
fall
pick for
off.
the draft pick, maybe.
Hold on.
Or like you
there's
could trade
a
on this
lot of
draft
there's a
pick.
decent amount of teams that need the offense that he can bring a young team for sure.
I'd love Jamal Murray in Orlando.
That's what I was already in my
Okay.
head. I was like, there you go. Like Orlando would be like, yep, sure, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey,
And I
I
would
mean, he's
love
more of a scoring
and I
guard.
would love
What do you want,
Jalen-
like
Jalen
Jalen
Suggs
Suggs?
in Denver.
what about like Anthony? Well,
I wouldn't.
Black
They
is-
would.
he's not a big
You really
enough
think
piece.
that they're not going to trade Jalen Suggs for Jamal Murray?
They would for
I
Jamal
think
Murray.
they might. But he's coming off an
not
injury
off.
too.
Not
The-
since he's torn. Not with his knee injuries.
That's the
they
thing
won't.
is that
But
now
you got to
he's-
give him two.
Because
They
it's
got a
what you
lot of
need.
those young
You
guards.
got to look
They'd
at
have
what
to
you
give him
need in
two.
your
I
team,
guess
and they need offense.
Suggs has torn his ACL before too, so I don't.
I mean, isn't he coming off an injury like
Hey,
now?
hey, Orlando, we can make a deal.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
send us Jalen Suggs and what's the big guy's name?
they're gonna be like, no, we'll give you Cole Anthony and
Wendell
fucking
Carter?
somebody else.
The defender, big guy.
Isaac?
Yeah,
Jonathan Isaac?
I want Jonathan Isaac, who's not going to play that much because he's going to play backup center to Jokic, and I want Jalen Suggs. That's what I want. That's what I want.
He's not that big.
Yeah, he's a small forward.
He's like a wing. Yeah.
yeah, he's a
He
big
can
wing.
he can play
He's like a
big,
big
though.
wing, but
he
he's-
can play big.
Yeah,
he's
on a s-
long.
in a small line.
backup,
Yeah.
backup
Yeah.
center.
I don't know.
A young athletic guy, 12 minutes a game.
Nah, you're trying. If Jamal Murray's going, they're staying firm. Is Wagner or something? One of the Wagners.
Can Anthony Davis drag the Mavs to a 8 seed?
Yeah.
Yes, he actually
Yeah,
can.
he
I'm
can.
gonna say
Yes.
he
They
can.
can
He
beat the
can.
Kings.
I'm not
I
gonna
think
be
yes.
negative.
He can beat
can.
the Kings.
Yes.
They
Not
can
only
beat the
can they beat the
Kings,
Kings,
and I
the
think they can
Grizzlies.
beat
I
the
think they're going to
Grizzlies.
beat the brakes off of them.
The
As far
Kings?
as
Yeah,
as far
bad.
as coaching
What's Levine
situation, I like Jason Kidd more than whoever. I mean, it's Doug Christie, but
Doug Christie,
whoever's in
yeah.
charge over there,
Yeah.
and then whoever's in charge in Memphis.
Yeah.
I think AD can get them both those games. And then I just do think Anthony Davis versus the Thunder bigs would just be fun. I'm going to pick the Thunder, but
that's some good television.
That's going to be good television. Like I don't necessarily think Chet can really guard him, and I think it would take both of their bigs to really slow him down.
Yeah.
But then again, you don't necessarily need to. Now they have in Dallas enough bigs to throw at everybody. So like,
Yeah,
they could just be fun. I don't think they'll win that series, but that's a better series than Memphis is.
they could beat them up for sure. They'll beat them up.
I think there's more to. There's
what is this,
definitely more to
Detroit?
talk about.
I mean, like it can go. It can go deep.
Definitely more to talk about.
Yeah, what series would you be most excited to see?
Probably Knicks Pistons. Honestly,
I don't even know the East existed.
What's that?
Are there's more than 2 teams out there? I didn't even know.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Man.
respect the piss.
That Knicks and Pistons series will probably be one of the better ones. Honestly,
It'd be fun. I'm sure it'd be fun to watch. It's just
If the series are
nobody's making
this,
the finals. That's how
if the
it feels.
series are this, I think the most exciting, the most watched series will obviously be Lakers Warriors.
by $1 billion trillion.
I think the best
NBA
series
is like begging.
Yeah, but I also don't think they are. I think they won it
Nuggets
later.
Clippers would
I don't
be
think they won it first
interesting.
round
That's fair.
because
I give you
after that, all those people that watch that are not watching the rest of the playoffs.
I don't know if the Lakers are on a run after beating the Warriors.
If
I
the
think
Warriors win, man.
I think either of those
Same.
runs are storyline.
either way, Steph.
I don't
and LeBron.
I don't think because I don't see that.
Okay.
But I think the Timberwolves Rockets is the best actual like series, like basketball wise. That
I wanna
shit
see
is
good-
going to be
yeah.
so fucking.
I want to
good.
see good basketball. I don't
like
want to
that.
see just 2 stars playing. Like
'Cause-
that's cool.
And then
to
those
put,
are both like
I get
young,
it, but
exciting
like,
teams.
I
Like
wanna
that's
see
what
some
I'm saying
good
about the Rockets and
basketball.
and the Timberwolves. Like I think if you're going in it like I want to watch really good basketball, that's your series right there.
The what? What?
The
series?
Rockets and the Timberwolves.
Rockets and Timberwolves will be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, my pick's Knicks Pistons.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about the West.
Oh, is that all we're talking
Again,
about?
I didn't even
Oh,
know the East existed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I didn't even know
He's
that there were
very-
teams
he's
out there.
very serious.
Well, are we just talking about the West?
No, you can talk about whatever you want,
Well,
but I mean,
Well, no, that's what I don't. Where are we at?
I will check.
Are we
the-
just
I
talking
will
about
check
the West? Or are we
box score
talking? You
for the
asked us
East.
what?
Yeah,
what,
I hear you.
What series?
I don't think that
Sorry,
series is
you were
going to be
just-
nearly as
So
exciting as
next
the
week
West.
we
I
can
think-
check back, and if it is the East, one of the East series,
I have one comment about.
I want
these.
you guys to say you're wrong
About what?
about because you're saying like I don't even know there's the East. Like, what are you saying by
Because
that?
Boston's going to make the finals.
Well, I'm not. Even, not
We
wait,
don't know.
Unless,
So
Cleveland-
if they
unless
don't-
something happens in Cleveland,
I will be
goes, but
tremendously sad.
I don't think they're just
if
gonna walk to the
Eastern
finals.
Conference Finals is not Cavs Celtics.
That's the only thing that I'm
just
looking forward
want
to in
to
the East.
see that.
Is the what
Cavs Celtics
Cavs
in the
Celtics.
final.
I want to see
Conference
Cavs
finals.
Celtics.
if they get there?
Yeah, I think.
And
they'll
I mean,
both
Knicks
get
Celtics will be excited. That'll be a good second round if they both get there.
I honestly don't think the Celtics are going to get to the finals.
The Pistons are.
there. So who's going to beat them?
Hey, okay,
The Cavs.
all right. I think Karl Anthony Towns
So
is
what?
gonna
The Celt- you-
ball out.
I mean,
I
the-
don't even
maybe.
like Karl Towns, but like I think he's gonna ball.
I honestly think
against
the Knicks could beat the
Pistons.
Celtics.
I don't think that.
Yeah.
Knicks?
Yeah.
What?
Nah,
I think they can.
nah,
Too many minutes.
Can
not enough teams.
Not enough
Can-
players.
Well, no, that's what happened last time. If they weren't hurt,
Can sure, but
if
would
they,
you?
if they're there, if
are
they're,
you betting on? Are you picking?
I
that?
would. I would.
The
If-
Knicks?
if they were all healthy, if they're healthy coming to that game, yes, I do.
Right? Are we thinking that Brunson's going to be back? He started practicing again, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
If
yeah,
he's
but I
back,
still don't-
if they're healthy, yeah. I mean, I think that they would definitely.
Would
get
you
them
bet
in.
me your right big toe?
how many grapes would you eat for it? Yeah, it was just. I mean,
get you.
and it's nothing against the East. It's just the way it is. It's just the West is fucking 1 through 8 are teams that 1 through 6 are teams that I would sit down and appointment viewing for a playoff game.
for sure?
And out there, it's like, who are the Celtics playing in the first round? Okay, that's 4-1 at worst. Who are they playing? You know, it's just like I don't. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. We talked about it a couple months ago. We keep doing these check-ins. Last season there was this build up to the playoffs as well, and then the episode title for the one right after the finals was over was like, we should have seen this coming all along, because they were the best team from start to finish all season. Now they're not that good this year, but a little bit of you wonders, okay, is that playoff hangover? Also, Jason Tatum has gone to a next level this season, and it's obviously not being talked about because he's not going to be in MVP discussions like Jokic and SGA, but I think there's a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, at least personally. We thought there might be more of a team collective, but because they were like, disrespected and the whole Olympics thing and the Jaylen Brown thing, but with with Tatum, like he's next level right now, and he's playing really, really well, and he's started to get that. He's started to get to that. That like obviously not like Jokic level of control over all game, but in terms of like his offensive game is just so dialed in right now. He's so in control of seemingly all aspects of his game. And I mean, he's 27 now, right? This is when it happens.
Yeah. It's unfortunate
so it's
he doesn't have more help.
It's
unfortunate.
No, and that's the other thing is like it's not just him. Even if he has a bad night, you've got a Finals MVP that's also starting next to him. You know, I mean, they just won and they're really good. And I think that because the Cavs got off to such a hot start and were really good all season, and they've been the 2 seed, and they've gone on a couple slides, they've gone on a couple win streaks, this and that. We're kind of like, hey, the Celtics, the Celtics.
Tatum's been playing like this since 2020, though.
Yeah, but I mean, this year in particular, he
has
like
pull up his stats. He's been playing.
He has like jumped a level in terms of just like offensive control. I mean, like he just looks like he is at that apex superstar level of like whatever you do here, this is my next move. Like he's starting to kind of get it. I think instead of just like, oh, I'm super skilled, I'm gonna chuck threes, or it's ISO time. Like he seems to finally kind of have.
I think
like,
people are just getting it because like people have always like hated on Tatum, and he's gone under the radar. I mean, he went toe to toe with Bron his rookie year. Like,
yeah, but he wasn't doing this.
And I
he didn't even do this most of the season last year. Is the level that I'm talking about. Statistically, I'm sure it's close. Yeah, but I mean like. Game control, offense. You just watch him and you're like, this is going to be a bucket. Like the second he starts driving.
When it comes down, do you think that's going to be the difference maker for that team when they're in the playoffs? Because I still think it's Kristaps, like whether he's healthy or not,
he's huge.
And how much of a mismatch he is for every single.
Yeah, he's obviously a huge component to that.
So if he's hurt, is it just a walk through the East and they're just going to be in the finals?
Porzingis?
Yeah. If Porzingis is hurt, they're not walking through the East. I'm telling you that right now.
I don't know that they're walking through. No, I mean, and I also think that they can get tested. Sure, but I'm just
it'll be a light jog
think they're
to
gonna.
the finals.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're gonna make the finals. And I think it'll be. I hope it's Cleveland. I hope it's Cleveland, Boston.
Finals.
But that nomenclature right there, though, if any team's like third integral piece is injured, they're not walking through any conference.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean?
But
like if Chet or J-Dub goes down, like our confidence in the Thunder would swoon.
But Kristaps was hurt going into the playoffs last year, and he came back and played really well.
Yes,
but
I disagree with how they just walked to the finals last year as them being so great because they also played a lot of hurt teams.
That's exactly why I'm like, let's hold up.
But,
they played well this year, but no,
I
don't think that they're just going to walk through the East.
Yeah, like I don't think
they're better this year.
I don't disagree.
The Detroit Pistons are a lot better this year.
Like, but better in terms of better from the worst team in the league historically one of the worst teams ever last year.
I think the Pistons beat them.
Competition. You think the Pistons beat the Celtics in a playoff series?
No, I'm saying I think they beat them this season.
Oh, in a game, sure.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that they would beat them in a 7-game series. No, but
out east, I do. I mean, yes, I would favor the Celtics over everybody. I don't think it's overwhelming, but.
I mean, I guess since we're on it, it's so right now it would be
obviously
Orlando
Cleveland,
and Boston. That's your NBA TV series. Like you don't need to turn it on unless you want to see Paolo do some stuff, I guess. But it's like come on, that's clinical. The Magic, they're just bad right now. That's the thing. Is like the 4-5-6 matchup is fun because it's like, oh, are the Pistons gonna be able to grab that Bucks seed?
Yeah,
but then you're only watching the. I mean, from my perspective, you're only watching the Bucks to see what Giannis can do because they're obviously not going to make it very far without Lillard and without Bobby Portis, who has always been integral to their playoff runs.
Well, he's coming back for the playoffs, right?
Will he in time?
I think his suspension is
left.
Yeah, but they probably still got 4, so I guess if they make it to the first round.
Right.
But I think Giannis can beat the Pacers by himself.
It's possible for sure, and the Pacers are playing well.
What if they?
That's just how good he is.
But what if they slide?
If they jump to the 6th, then it's New York and Milwaukee.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I think Giannis walks through New York too.
I don't think I don't think the Bucks are walking through anybody.
No, Giannis. He's going to average.
He is a Buck. Sorry, so that's why I said I don't think the Bucks.
But
I include him in that.
I think the Bucks could beat either the Pacers or the Knicks. I'm not picking the Knicks or the Pacers. Yeah, really, in any series they could play.
Anything's possible. It's a first round matchup. You got an all timer right there.
Yeah, that's my only thing with them.
Well, hopefully these draft picks go to East teams, not a lot of West teams.
There's going to be a lot because look
Yeah,
at that.
Like hopefully the Wizards
Yeah.
get flag. Hopefully freaking
not the
Charlotte gets
Wizards.
Dylan
What
Harper.
if Cooper plays in Charlotte?
I hope that would be crazy. I want that.
You keep saying this.
Why?
Send them to a
Why don't you?
confident franchise. That's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
always happens.
Well,
Yeah.
Washington,
All
I'd be
of-
happy in just to even see them like
Franchises
He would fit there.
only become competent when they get generational players.
That is not
That's
true.
not true at
You
all.
need what happened. What just happened with the Mavericks? They had a generational player. Now,
Uh-huh.
granted, I'm not saying they were like a dumpster fire like the Hornets are,
Yeah,
but then they got
that's-
rid of their generational player.
But
Yeah, but that's
hold
a
on. If you
financial,
historically go
Yeah,
back,
there's deeper. shit
when
than
did the
that.
Mavericks become competent?
But my point is,
No, that's not. They've always
when
they've
Mark Cuban
been,
bought the team,
There we go. Yes.
And
was willing to spend money
On
on a GM and
Dirk
players. and-
Nowitzki gets there, and then that stabilizes
Yeah,
the thing.
that is true.
Like,
Yes,
No,
having-
Steve Nash actually
the
was.
Bulls
Steve
are
Nash.
trash.
Steve Nash was the guy.
having a
But
player.
yeah,
Same thing.
Point taken. But I
Same
don't think
thing.
I don't think it's having the star. I think the franchise already had a competent leader.
You need a
These franchises. I don't know. I can say that.
I guess I have
You need good
yet
leadership.
to really see that.
Otherwise, you see what happens. You need good
Yeah, but
management.
I'm
Otherwise,
just
they
saying
get rid
I
of their
don't know.
players.
When you get a player like Flag, though, like Cooper Flag, we're not talking about like Andrew Wiggins coming out your first pick. You know what I mean? Like this is a generational type of player,
Yeah.
like Victor.
Well, I mean, we say
So
that.
it'd be a
but we
shame
say-
to see
we
him
say
go to
that- We
Charlotte.
say that every. We say
See,
that every
I
year.
just-
Like
No,
Zion didn't
we
end
don't
up
say
being
that
as-
every year. We didn't say that this year with players.
Okay, but every other
true.
year then.
We
Every
didn't.
year other than this past year.
Sure, I get you.
What about
Players are getting
Zion?
better.
Zion was supposed to be generational. He's been hurt.
He's been hurt.
He
Yeah.
jumps
Fell
off
in
the
love with
screen when he
Louisiana.
plays. Hell, it for even when he was hurt, Ja Morant was the like, oh my God, they should have picked Ja over
wasn't
Zion.
generational,
Now
though.
we're looking at Ja like, man, are they gonna trade him? Is the franchise in a rough place? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's the thing. But I mean, it also goes to they fired their coach with 12 games left or something like that. I mean,
Exactly.
and I'm not, and we still don't really know the reasons for that, whatever. But or at least for the timing of it.
Yeah.
But that is my point. Is you can have. You can park a Lamborghini, you know what I mean? It's like if you don't have a good, stable, I know what you mean, and I
If
agree.
Victor played in Charlotte, it would turn the franchise.
Yeah, what a turnover around.
because
1000%.
sure, yes, because of
What if it doesn't?
right,
though?
but if they never put any competent pieces around him, it's LeBron in the Cleveland his first stint. They never put their big trade for the last like 3 seasons of his career there was either old Shaq or Anton Jameson.
And then what turned that franchise around?
LeBron going back.
Not them hiring a competent GM.
And-
Not them front office getting together. Not them
but I
making
think
great
it's
draft picks.
David Griffin.
yeah,
David Griffin.
and what's the owner?
Yeah, and what did David Griffin do?
Yeah, Gilbert. Him having less control. Him having less.
And what did
say.
they do? They drafted Kyrie. Good move. Then what? Anthony Bennett.
Anthony
Terrible
Bennett wasn't
fucking
he
move.
before?
So like obviously they're not competent. The reason like that worked was LeBron James.
No,
They just
I
need
think-
players to be on the court. That's good. Charlotte isn't even that bad of
There's
a
a
situation.
combination
They
of
have
things.
players that get hurt all the time. Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, Mark Williams that can't ever fucking stay on the court. Excuse my language, but like they
he played
can't.
like 60,
And it's like
50-something games.
So it's like if these players did what they were supposed to do, which LaMelo Ball has, Brandon Miller showed peaks of it. Mark Williams just doesn't ever play, but
Yeah, they've
they
got-
have
You don't think
players.
that's a
Miles
product
Bridges
of that
beating his
team being
girlfriend
really
up.
bad.
It's not
if
that
team-
bad of a team if they
But
just
that's-
need to
but
build.
yeah, they're losing.
They
They've
are
been
losing. Yeah,
losing
yeah.
consistently.
For
and
years.
why? What?
I mean, they've been
What's the
losing
motivation?
since Kemba.
What's the motivation
Yeah,
to
that's-
even
yeah.
have Brandon Miller come back from injury or play for? I'm not convinced that he's been hurt this whole time.
No, they're
He's
trying to
missed
get a
all
good
of
draft
these-
pick. They're trying to get flagged.
Yeah,
They're trying to
and
get.
So there we
and I-
go.
and that's the
That's what they're going to
idea
do.
behind a lot of these tanking teams,
Toronto,
or
too.
bad teams. Or the Toronto thing is confusing as hell.
They're
because
sitting Emmanuel every
Scotty
other day.
Barnes is
Darko
a
and-
face of the league,
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
Darko and GM of Toronto, please,
Masai.
Masai Ujiri, are like they've got to be at odds because Toronto just keeps overperforming because of Darko, and like he just always has a really.
Yeah,
I
no, I
think
hear
Darko's
you.
a really, really good coach. Calling it is April 7th, 2025. Darko Rajakovic, Coach of the Year candidate for next year. Because if they get
Especially if they
a
get
healthy,
flagged.
if they get it, well, if they get a flag, well, yeah. But I mean, if they get a healthy Brandon Ingram and they actually start their players from the top, I mean, hey, they could be an 8,
Oh yeah.
probably at best.
quick.
You
They
know,
could be an 8.
Oh,
They
yeah.
go up 3 spots.
But I just my
I hear
point
you,
with
though.
the whole where
get you.
Cooper goes is like you can't tell me there's a difference between Victor going to the Spurs as opposed to the Nets. Like like it does make a difference in terms of like, okay, what kind of coaching staff do you have there? What kind of like history of like reliable pieces being put around their
He's
good
not
players
wrong.
and stuff. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying.
So
But
we agree then.
But the Spurs, I said I hear you. Not I agree
Right,
with
because
you.
we've agreed with each other on 2 different points now. So we agree on the same. We're saying the same thing.
Sure.
say
I mean, the
I think
Spurs
he
weren't the
just hears
Spurs
you.
until they got good players. The Bulls were shitty until they got a Michael Jordan. Like,
Well, they were shitty.
But I
until
think
they
your
got
reason
Scottie
for
Pippen.
getting the player is what we're missing. Like it shouldn't be a team lucking into a number 1 pick. I don't think those situations have turned franchises around. I think even when when bad franchises get a number 1 pick, a generational player, it takes until the team gets a leader,
Yes.
a general manager, coaching, whatever it is.
Good
like,
pieces
there has
around
to
them.
be something to go along with it. It's
Just-
not
it
that
could-
like
I get
you.
it.
Can, I don't think I don't think Jordan was the starting point for the Bulls. I think like they had to go through some bumps and bruises
they
and
did.
figure out how do we use this.
Right. I mean, and the 2007 Cavaliers is another example of like he took them to the finals. I mean,
Okay.
Man.
what?
Like so, a
You
player
disagree with
LeBron.
that?
the amazing playoff defense they had that entire run. That's one of the greatest playoff defenses in history.
Cleveland?
Yeah.
I don't
If you
know
look at the
if
numbers, that's just the facts.
Sure. If you want to credit,
right.
the amazing defense of Boobie Gibson, go ahead.
there we go.
I mean, if
that's
the
the
numbers,
reason. Not the
Drew
48
Anderson,
special.
Burge,
if the
yeah.
numbers
Yeah,
back
they had
that up,
pieces.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
Hit pieces, but there's seconds. My point here is, then why weren't they a dynasty? Like if I'm taking it to the extremes that you like. To,
So
then it's like, you know what I
let's
mean?
get Cooper Flag to Charlotte. They got pieces to Washington. They
Yeah,
got pieces. They got Jordan Poole. They got Alexander Sarr, just a number 2 pick in the draft.
I
last
agree
year.
that a guy
So,
like Cooper
that,
makes
if
a
he
difference.
goes to Washington, they could bump up to
Sure,
11,
but
10.
then you need the Dagnall. Then you need the Ime Udoka.
You don't-
then you
yeah.
need this. You need the something.
Yeah.
Like it's not
It
just
can't
going to be those
be-
players getting there and then everything turns around.
But,
But
these,
those
but
coaches
these
weren't those
teams
coaches
need
till they
that.
became that.
These teams need those players, though. It doesn't
I
matter if
don't
you have a
know.
shit coach.
Udoka was Udoka. He became that before he got to Houston, and they brought him to Houston because he was that, even through controversy.
but what I'm saying is he had to become Udoka, not in Houston, but he in Boston becomes Udoka.
Sure.
Right? Who was? He almost died. Who was Popovich before Tim Duncan?
I mean, they go hand in hand. Same thing with Phil
Okay.
Jackson. It's like
You get a really amazing
Steve
player.
Kerr will never be looked at as having a down period.
No, but that's my point is great. Yes, these coaches become great, but they have to have a great player to become great coaches.
you don't have to. That's
I don't. Yeah.
not true at all.
Then who's become a great coach that didn't have a great all-time player?
Okay, so I'm just assuming because you're using the word great, you're limiting it to top 5 coaches ever just to fit your argument, I assume.
No, like even when you think of a coach, like
I just
even
think that's-
I
who
thought
are
of
the-
Flip
who are the-
Saunders, and he had
Yeah,
fucking
Flip-
Ben
Flip was
Wallace. He was the Detroit Pistons coach when he.
I think
or no, there's Larry
Flip's
Brown.
the best
Larry
argument
Brown.
against me.
But no,
Or
Flip
against-
Saunders.
or
He
no,
had
no, no.
Kevin Garnett. So that's
So
right
like
there.
if you're going that route, like the 04 Pistons would be probably the best argument
that's
against
Larry
me.
Brown.
Well,
But
yeah,
the majority of great coaches,
How do we define great though? Because like Nate McMillan
Coaches
was
you
a
look-
great coach.
Larry
coaches-
Brown's
coaches
an
you look at
amazing
all-time
coach.
coaches.
Larry Brown is an amazing coach.
Larry Brown's an amazing, but I'm not even like
All time.
I'm saying if we're talking without getting to all time, let's talk. We're talking great coaches. Nate McMillan was a great coach. He was great. He led. Didn't he lead Atlanta to playoff runs, to Indiana to playoff runs, Portland to playoff runs? Like there are coaches who get teams there.
Get the most out of their
But
team.
what's
Get
the
most-
point
and then
we're getting
sometimes
at,
they
though?
have, but sometimes they have stars and sometimes they don't.
but they don't. But those
do you
coaches don't turn around
always have to?
franchises.
I mean,
turnaround franchises? No, you need both
Okay.
though.
I feel like we're
Well, wait a
penalizing
minute.
these franchises because we're saying they have bad
Okay.
coaches or bad leaders. I get it. They have bad coaches and bad leaders. No, hear me out. That doesn't mean they don't deserve a top pick. Like
I'm
what
not
are
saying
we
they
getting
don't
at
deserve
here?
it.
But I
Because
got a
then we're going to be
question.
talking about
So
the Charlotte
does-
Hornets being a trash franchise.
okay,
for years
but are
to
we
come.
saying that Tyronn Lue didn't turn around that
But
franchise?
they need to switch it around, right, or get
wasn't
him out.
as influential for the Cavs winning because like it didn't seem like they were on a good path with Blatt as the coach, and then they got him out of there, got Tyronn Lue in there,
There's a difference, yeah.
and he was a part of that being turned around.
That
doesn't matter. That's not like that's just
he's not the focal point.
So Charlotte can't go get a coach.
He is a focal point.
Also,
I'm not saying he's
Tyronn Lue's
I'm not saying any pieces are the piece or the single thing. I'm saying it all goes together, and you need a little bit of all of it.
I'm not saying you could have. I'm not saying.
I don't think you can have it with just the star player, because that's a situation that was just like, nope, that coach doesn't work. He can't get us there.
One person cannot win you a championship, right?
Agreed.
One person cannot strictly turn around a franchise. Yes,
Agreed.
other things have to go your way.
Agreed.
Right?
Sure.
And yes, I cannot coach the 90s Bulls. I can't coach the 2000 Lakers. But like, I can't do that, right? So yes, you have to have some aptitude for it. But again, no one cares. Again, Greg Popovich isn't a 20-plus year in a row, 50 wins a game. It's Tim Duncan. Without Tim Duncan, that doesn't happen.
But we don't know that.
Yes.
And also, we don't know what Tim Duncan does without Greg Popovich.
We saw Greg Popovich after Tim Duncan left. What were the Spurs?
Yeah, what was the one year that they had any competent players, and then they started tanking for picks. So and they made the playoffs the one year that he was not there. And without Tim Duncan, granted,
there were multiple years without Tim Duncan, because Tim Duncan retired, I believe, in 14, maybe 15.
No, I think it was
maybe 16.
It was later, but my point is they only really tried to compete once.
So before,
weren't they challenging the Warriors until Kawhi lands on Zaza's foot?
Mm-hmm. And then after Kawhi leaves, what happens? Nobody, nothing. Oh, they're so great. They get Victor Wembanyama.
Is Kawhi a star because
the Spurs
he
have
was
been
in the
ass.
Spurs system and came up alongside
what happened
Tim
to
Duncan
DeJounte Murray,
and
though?
with a Popovich, or was he just a star coming from San Diego State? Like, I don't understand. Like, are these pieces not all working together to be a part of the championship team?
Yes.
Do you not it's not just getting
certain pieces a la great players mean more than anything. Period. Like, by a wide margin.
So why didn't Brooklyn win when they had three of the best?
Because they barely played. They've only played like 13
right?
games, if that.
Okay.
We can look up the actual numbers, but I think they only played like what?
It was like 40 or something total over the year and a half that they were all together.
Just
it was something. It was really low because of the whole Kyrie vax thing and then Harden being injured and.
Yeah, I think Harden. What it was.
My whole point with this was that I don't want to see him go to a team that is not going to throw everything at the wall to add the pieces that you need around a player to make him good. Yeah. Like you saw with the Spurs going like, okay, we've got a guy whose timeline is expedited. It is truncated. We are going to be way better than we thought. Let's add De'Aaron Fox. We get a Steph Castle. Let's not get rid of him regardless of his trade value. That's what I'm saying, as opposed to a team like Charlotte, who has all these good pieces, and yes, this season, of course, they're tanking for a flag, and they're going to make another pick. But when do you flip the switch and go? LaMelo should have been an all-star. LaMelo should have probably been an all-star starter. We've got this maybe not generational level, but really, really good all-star level guy. It's time to start putting the pieces around him to actually go compete. Because of injury, you want to call it on the season. Weren't they dabbling with the 11 and 10 seed? I mean, if they kept on that schedule, so that's what I'm saying is you bring in a good player and your hope is that they also have the support system around them that is able to hire a good coach or make good trades or good free agent signings or whatever, not just superstars or whatever it is, but
pieces
make
that
the right
build a
pieces
team.
that complement the superstar.
Yeah. That's what's huge.
Yeah.
It's like your superstar, you have to get I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, same thing with Orlando. Orlando's been drafting high for years. It has started to come together with a coach that can lead some of these players, and with them having pieces that fit properly with the more recent draft picks.
I was gonna say,
it's about how well all of it goes together and all the pieces. It's not just getting top players or getting high level players. Yeah, they're NBA players. They're the best players in the world.
I'm gonna watch Cooper no matter where he goes,
for sure.
But a lot less of it if it's in Charlotte.
I honestly think if they all pan out, that'd be a crazy team, dude.
They have a lot of young talent. It's just about how do you put it together. You know?
For sure.
Who's
Are they
leading
able to
that?
move pieces around? Are they able to sign?
What
the
if they
right guys, all
traded
that stuff?
LaMelo? Like whoever, like
That
what,
is very much on the table. This
no, like
offseason.
if they like somebody like a team that really needs a point guard that would take the risk. Like if they get the number 1 pick, then Charlotte trades him to try to get like a double pick, like a 1-10 pick or whatever, and try to land a Cooper Flag and
that's one of those picks that's not getting traded.
No.
I don't think. I mean, I think unless.
Not yeah,
Unless
definitely
Oklahoma City like fully unloaded the war chest, I don't think that anybody's getting. Nobody's getting the 1 seed.
for sure.
That or the number 1 pick. That
If
is
the
that is-
Hornets
that-
get the number 1 overall pick and they trade LaMelo
they're
away,
absolutely doing that.
well, I guess
that'd
my
be
problem,
stupid.
I would see that would be a
That'd be
point to your
stupid.
guys' point.
That'd be
That's
stupid.
a bad run.
Yeah, that would be
Bad
dumb.
move.
Yeah,
Well, but it
you
also
should not do that.
But it also kind of depends on what you're getting.
But I
Who-
mean,
who are you
yeah,
getting?
because
Like,
I'd rather have Brandon
Sure,
Miller.
there are good trades and bad trades for sure, but I
do
mean,
LaMelo. Yeah, right.
I mean,
but
do I have a point guard that's coming in? Am I getting
Dylan Harper.
I need a
or
Mike
something.
Conley, but like 5 seasons younger.
Right,
I need a
You need a Dylan Harper.
We talked about this. We talked about this earlier this season, where it's like LaMelo was amazing this year, but there are moments where you're like, this isn't maybe the highest like team basketball aspect, even though he has good assist
sell high.
numbers.
You could sell
Yeah.
high.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I think he's
Yeah.
absolutely on the trade market
sure.
this summer. LaMelo, Ja.
For sure.
Like I think there's a few big names. Like you were right. There's
just
gonna
like
be
I
some
said
movement.
about the
Zion.
trade deadline, I think
all these
this
people are
this
on the
offseason,
Who's on?
oh, people are
Zion.
moving.
I think
Kevin
Zion could
Durant's
get
on the move
traded.
again.
KD.
With LaMelo and Ja, and then
man.
Giannis is on the move. Like
Maybe.
Yeah,
I think
that's
he's
possible.
done. I think he's pissed and he's like, I'm out.
He would have to demand it.
I
DeMontis
think he's got
Sabonis may even get traded.
Well, I
I'm
said
not-
big
Yeah,
trade.
that's not
Dumpster fire in Sacramento.
Yeah.
All right.
dude.
Good thing I only had one.
Yeah.
I was going to say that
Category.
went an hour.
You want to talk
I
about
was
that?
just
We
waiting for
talked
you to be
about
like,
that.
all right,
there
come
we
on.
go.
Well, actually, yeah. Okay. Random question of the day. It's time for the random question of the day. I ask one random question, gets away, get 1,000 points.
Boomhauer.
Nerlens Noel. Another lottery pick.
go.
While we're on the topic of lottery picks.
Yeah.
Former NBA big man drafted 6th overall by the Charlotte Hornets in 2013. He played for 6 teams in his 9-year career. Ooh. Your question today is, what is Nerlens Noel's career points per game average? If you're close, I'll give it to you.
Career points per game.
Mm-hmm.
Career points per game is gonna be 6.2.
Going 8.6.
I'm going to go 13.4. I think of the
There's a lot
teams
of
he
time
played
left on
for.
the clock.
We all went for
That's
it.
like 4.
You guys were close. It's 7.1.
I knew it was somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Because like
right
it's
around there.
definitely not like 2.
He averaged more rebounds per game than.
What teams did he
Damn, what-
play
you
for?
said
The Sixers,
I don't remember now.
Oh, God, I thought you had.
He played for
I mean,
the,
I did-
the
I had
Hornets,
that
the
Hornets.
Sixers. I think he played for the Hawks,
Sixers,
the
Warriors.
Wizards. He made the Southeastern route.
Pelicans.
Sixers,
Knicks,
Warriors, Mavericks.
Sixers.
Sixers, Warriors, Mavericks.
I don't know about the Warriors.
No, it's not the Sixers and Mavericks for sure. Sixers, Mavericks.
Mavericks.
Anyway.
Pelicans, Knicks. That's all I got for you. That's what I know. Wait, Thunder
Anyway.
or Thunder in there?
Thunder, yeah, Thunder is one. is one.
Before we go, congratulations to your favorite player of all time in being a first ballot Hall of Famer, Carmelo Anthony.
Yes, Carmelo.
Much deserved, well
Love
deserved. Love Melo. Dwight Howard, first ballot Hall of Famer as well.
Yes.
Much deserved, much
Did you?
deserved.
Lakers,
And
give that guy a call.
LeBron James becomes the first active player ever inducted to the Hall of Fame. What?
Huh?
I mean,
2008.
we don't have
Today's an
to-
Olympic team. What were we gonna say?
Oh,
Oh. No, there was a
That is a
clip
thing.
where some guy
Damn.
was on some Barstool
It's,
show.
it's a big fucking deal.
And this guy goes, Carmelo Anthony's I think the best player of all time. The guy goes, what? Obviously, no. And he goes, what do you mean? Like, he's obviously one of the best one-on-one players of all time. Like, who's better at basketball, one-on-one? Like, you think like him and LeBron play, whatever. You get a couple. He scored a little bit, right? He goes, yeah, I think probably go back and forth. Like 50. He goes, I'm glad we agree. He goes, I don't. No, we don't. Hang on, we don't agree. He's like, well, like you think he scored a little bit, right? He goes, yeah, I'm glad we agree. He goes, stop, you're gaslighting me. I'm not doing this.
Sounds familiar. Where have I seen that tactic before? Okay. All right, let's get to our game of the day. Game of the day is head-to-head 20 Qs. 20 questions. Head-to-head 20 questions. Yeah, head-to-head. So I guess it's the three of you heading.
I'm getting a human centipede out here.
In this one, you will each take turns asking me yes or no questions about a player that I have chosen. You each get 10 questions each, meaning 30 questions, I guess. Since we're already in an hour, let's make it 5 each, yeah?
5, yeah. I like it.
Cool,
Head-to-head,
cool.
15 questions.
Head-to-head, 15 questions. Think of a number between... Oh, it's 100 points if you get it. If not, I get it. If nobody gets it, I get it.
Okay.
Think of a number between
my
1 and 55.
32.
23.
It was 42, 44. You want to go first? Probably want to go last in this one game.
Yeah, I'll go
Gain
last.
more info.
I go last.
Justin starting...
Why wouldn't we go this way?
I don't
All right,
think that's
Bob.
how his clock works.
What direction are we going?
There we go. Oh, I forgot. I was like, he's gonna draft a player. He's gonna sign a guy.
That's
Is this player?
pull up his stuff.
Does this player shoot with their right hand?
Yeah. No.
No.
Whoa.
Oh!
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Woo!
Didn't know he was a lefty.
Woo!
I guess I probably should, huh? Oh yeah, now I remember. Yeah,
Are these
yeah,
all
yeah.
going to be
He's
players?
a lefty.
Yep.
Yes.
Some of them will be mascots.
No, I don't have any mascots this time. Trey.
Did this player get drafted out of high school?
No.
I was really trying to not be helpful, but the left-handed thing I think really is helpful.
Is this
He's
player
done a lot.
from Canada?
Nope.
Has this player won an NBA championship?
Nope.
Is this player, or has this player played for the Houston Rockets?
Nope.
Has this player played for the Knicks?
Yes.
These are all current players, right?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Fair enough. I just didn't know if we were doing the other one.
They're all current.
This player has played for the Knicks. This player does shoot with their left hand, by the way. Okay.
You better guess because he's got it.
Has this player played for the Phoenix Suns?
No.
Oh, is this OG Anunoby?
No.
Damn.
Has this player been traded before?
OG Anunoby's a right-handed player. No, he has not been traded.
He has not been traded.
Maybe he doesn't have it.
I guessed on your information that he had it.
He looked like he had it.
Ah, well.
I thought I had it.
Think, thunk.
Hello?
Michael,
Trey, are you here?
he
Oh,
already...
is he?
It's your turn, you know.
No,
Is he
he
guessing or is he
I just-
are
I
you
just
done?
guessed.
literally
didn't
just
I?
asked
Oh.
Oh, that's why I was.
if this player had been
was like,
traded. So it's
Has this player been traded? No, my bad. That's on me.
like,
I thought you were guessing the way that you were.
no, I'm like
sitting here, like,
thinking.
Is this player in their 20s?
Yes.
This could be someone from the age of 20 to 29.
Oh,
no,
wow.
man.
Quick math.
I don't have a guess.
You only got one more question.
I don't have a guess. I have one more.
This
This
is
is
Trey's
round
last
4.
question. This is 4? I thought it was 5.
Okay, it's 5.
That was. This is. Wait. What?
Yep.
Okay.
Like
is
this,
fine, yeah.
because
You're
I
fine.
would have started.
Yeah. Cool.
So this would be his last question,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm out. I've already guessed. I don't know what
yeah.
they're gonna be for. I've been out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Was this player drafted this year?
No. So I guess you have to guess then.
And these are
left-handed player hasn't been traded.
Think it out.
Is this player Miles McBride?
No.
Would have been a pull though, huh?
No, it is.
Has this player played for teams other than the Knicks? You
Yes.
said he hasn't been traded.
Correct.
To Jalen Brunson?
It is.
Yeah.
Well done, JB.
Oh, see, that got me right
Also
there.
known as the
That's what got me. I was
Brunson
thinking he
burner.
was just on the Knicks.
Brunson.
I thought it earlier, and I was just like,
Big body.
I got it.
Yeah.
The king of
Well,
New York.
He's a
You
little
would
guy,
know.
but yeah.
Captain Clutch.
Mm.
All right. Trey, you're starting.
Is this player a guard?
Sorry, I forgot what the next one was. No.
Is this player is this player from the United States?
Yes. Oh.
Thank you so much for narrowing that down. Has this player ever played for a team that Luke Ridenour played for?
Wait. You don't mean in the course of their separate careers?
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Has
no,
this-
that's your question now. You're an asshole. You're locked in.
Oh, you started the
Uh,
research.
No,
No.
they've not
Wait.
played for the same franchise.
Ever?
Does this player
Ever?
Is this player
we
playing the
don't do
Western Conference?
Yes.
That's why.
Has this player played in the NBA Finals?
No. Good question.
Is this player between the ages of 25 and 32?
Yes. No, sorry, no.
No.
I did my quick math wrong, and I looked at the wrong number.
Was it just the age you're probably fucking on there?
Well, it has the age and then the days,
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
right next to each
Yeah,
other.
yeah,
I'll tell you, he's 255 days old into his whatever year it is.
Is this player a center?
Total days.
Yes.
Is this player in their 30s?
No.
So, has this player ever played with Mikal Bridges?
No.
Okay.
Is this player a rookie?
No.
I've always loved it.
Did you?
This guy. You think somebody
Does-
actually played this? I'm sorry.
Has this player? Has this player ever finished top 5 in blocks in their career?
Yes.
Did Jaren Jackson?
No. John is
Does he
out.
count as a center?
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
count
he
him
does.
as a center.
Yeah, okay.
To a degree.
Whenever it's on the line, we'll kind of
I got you.
talk about it sometimes.
Oh, shh.
Can I ask a team-based question? Is
Sure,
that-
if it's a yes or no.
That's it was going to be. I just didn't know
Okay.
if we because sometimes we don't do the geographical number amount of questions.
I figured with 5 each would be
Yeah, it'd be fine. Does this player play for the Utah Jazz?
Yeah.
Is this Walker Kessler?
Yeah.
Oh,
job.
Nice.
I was wrong.
Walkie
Good call.
Kessler.
Well, it's the Luke Ridnour question that did it.
Okay. All right, John, you're starting.
Is this player a rookie?
No.
Does this player start on their team? Like,
Oh
is
my
they the
God.
actual starter for
Yeah.
their team? Okay.
Has this player ever been an All NBA player?
Yes.
Ooh.
Has this player been to the NBA Finals?
Yes.
Has this player won a scoring title?
No.
Oh. Was this player a top 3 pick in the NBA draft?
Yes.
Has this player been traded?
Yes. You want to guess? Go for it. It's not too late. It's early. But it's not too late.
Justin might get it.
Not too late, but it is early. Not too
Yeah.
late.
Yeah.
So this player just done that. Is this player a wing?
No.
No.
He has wings. He's a bird.
Oh shit.
Has this player won an MVP?
MVP?
Yes.
No.
Does he know where his home is?
Does this player play in the Eastern Conference?
No.
Yeah, I was. Has this player ever played with DeAndre Ayton?
No.
Is this player over 7 feet tall?
No. Not listed as such.
I hope he's 6'3".
No, I
Has this
think I know
player
where
played
this
with
is.
LeBron?
Yes.
Is it Luka?
No.
Is this player traded this season?
Yes.
Is this Anthony Davis?
Yes.
Ah, yeah.
I was
Damn.
on the wrong side of it. I knew it right after I said it too.
I was thinking traded. I'm like, hold on.
I was gonna go Devin Booker. I was all over the place.
Justin, you're back up.
I'm back up.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was just John.
That was our third one. You started that one, John.
Yeah, I'm
Justin,
ready
you're
to
back
go. So, does this player's name begin with an M?
I'm not doing that.
Okay. Does their first name starts with the letter M?
We're not doing that.
Okay. Does this player play in the Eastern Conference?
Yes.
Oh.
Is this player listed as a guard?
No.
Is this player a first overall draft pick?
No.
Has this player made All NBA first team?
No.
Has this player made an all defensive team?
Yes.
Has this player won an NBA championship?
No. Sorry.
Nope.
That's what I meant to
I
say.
was like,
You're out.
he's not won an NBA champion. Has this player ever played with Jimmy Butler?
Yes.
Is this Bam Adebayo?
Yes. Yep. Damn, guys, what the hell?
Damn, he's
Let him get all
smoking
these
us.
points to start. Come on. All right, Trey.
Is this a Western Conference player?
Yes.
Is this player currently a starter?
Yes.
Western Conference starter, huh? Has this player ever played in the finals?
No.
Was this player drafted top 5?
No.
Oh.
No.
No.
Am I still to build the perfect system? Yeah.
Is this player a power forward?
No.
Has this player has this okay.
Uh-oh.
I got it.
Oh, here we go.
Has this player played in the conference finals?
No.
Damn. Why is it gonna be so hard?
Man.
Has is this player a? Is this player 6'5" or taller?
Yes.
So it's a forward.
But not a power forward.
Could
Could be
be.
a center.
Yeah, could be a power forward. Or
No,
something.
it couldn't. Okay.
Did we ask?
Oh yeah, we already asked that.
Sorry.
Are we allowed to
Ask what?
get refresher?
There's a
yeah.
kitchen
He
over
runs
there.
through them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's refresh.
A refresher.
That's refreshments.
You want a little
Is-
Aperol spritz?
Not really my favorite. Kind of bitter.
Sangria?
Oh, I fuck with the sangria. Carrabba's has a really good sangria.
Ooh.
Blackberry sangria. Get a pitcher.
Does this player have family member in the league?
No. I mean, technically, yes, because we're all a family. NBA
appreciate
family.
that.
NBA cares.
Thank you for being inclusive. Has this player or does this player play in the state of Texas?
No.
Is this player a rookie?
No.
Man.
Does this player have his own shoe?
No. Last round.
So a question and a guess?
YOLO.
Right? YOLO. Has this player ever played with Chris Paul?
Yes.
Is this DeAndre Ayton?
No.
Damn.
Has this player? I don't know if we've asked. Has this player been traded?
He's not.
He is not.
Like have a
Is this
Yeah.
player Devin Booker?
No. One question, one guess, my brother man.
He ain't taller than 6'5". What the hell am I thinking?
Devin Booker?
Is he?
Devin Booker's definitely 6'5" or taller.
I think he's like 6'4".
He's like 6.
Really?
Yeah.
He's probably.
He's like 5'9" in shoes.
Devin Booker is listed at 6'6".
Oh, okay. He's probably like 6'4".
They all give him the inserts when they measure.
They measured him, said he was this tall. No, he's not.
Like Kevin Durant's 7 foot. Or 6'10", they list him 6'9".
Is this player? I don't know, my guess is Jalen Williams.
Your guess is wrong. Nope. It's pods.
Oh.
What? What's your question?
Pods is like 6'4", isn't
It's
he?
listed right here, Basketball Reference, 6'5", 205 pounds. That's the only thing I go off of as Basketball Reference listings.
Yo, buds. We weigh
He
the
is pretty
same.
tall. He's
Sorry,
tall.
bud.
He's
We
pretty
weigh
lanky.
the same. You know what I mean? We ain't the same weight. You got the reach on me.
Pods is.
Think you could box? Think you could box Brandon Pajimsi?
Could I?
Yeah, I think you
He's
would.
pretty tall. I don't think I could. I
No?
probably got a good reach.
Man, probably.
All right, Trey.
Is this player an Eastern Conference player?
Yes.
Has this player been to the NBA Finals?
Yes.
Has this player ever played with Udonis Haslem?
No.
Is this player 7 feet? or
Roundabout way of
taller?
just saying if he's ever played for the Heat. Sorry?
7 feet or taller?
No.
Is this player currently injured?
Not listed as having an injury, but I'll see his. Nope.
Has this player ever? Does this player ever? Does this player play for Doc Rivers?
Yeah. Very weird.
Why are you hating on my questions?
No, good question. Just it's surprising you nailed it. I don't understand how you got there.
Is this player a guard?
No.
Is this player Kelly Oubre?
No.
I was like, that'd be awesome.
Also does not play for Dr. Rivers right now.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
No, but I'm glad that you're not playing anymore.
Has this player had a sibling in the league?
No.
Was this player traded this season?
Yes.
Is this Kyle Kuzma?
Yes. Wow. Justin cleaning up. Unbelievable.
NBA champion.
Smoking.
All right, John. Last one.
Kyle Kuzma.
Is this player in the Western Conference?
Yes.
Has this player ever physically assaulted anybody in the league?
No.
Damn. It's one guy off the board.
Is this player listed as a guard?
Yes.
It'd be great if it was gone in 60 seconds. We were just crossing off names.
Is this player a top 3 draft pick?
Yes.
Top 3?
Top 3.
That's nuts. A Western Conference guard. Is this player? Has this player had a fine this season?
That's like impossible to track, dude. I'm
All
just
right.
gonna say no, though. I think.
Okay.
Pretty sure no.
All right. If you're pretty
Not
sure
a-
no, then it's not who I think.
Not a notable one.
All right.
It's not Ja.
Has this player played in the finals?
No.
Has this player does this player wear Adidas?
My Adidas. Pull up a picture.
And my questions are ridiculous.
Wait. How would I? What do I Google to track that?
Like, is that a shoe? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, Adidas shoes.
Is that like is
I thought
he's
you
sponsored by Adidas?
I don't know why my brain was like, you were like, is that a shoe? I'm like, yeah, they're Adidas.
No, that's
right?
the question you ask.
No. Really good picture there. Helped me out a lot.
Has this player recently paid 18 years worth of child support in a lump
It's
sum?
not Anthony Edwards.
I
Man.
thought it was him too.
Yeah, we just figured that one out.
Yeah.
Man.
Has this player averaged more than 20 points per game in his career?
Has he done it before? He has
In his
not.
career?
Has
Or
he?
no. Okay.
Yeah.
I think he was asking for his
Yeah,
like,
but
for
if once
the
I heard
totality
that-
of his
that-
The
career,
answer
but
is
the answer
both.
is
yeah.
No to
Yeah, it
both. You
doesn't
get
matter
2 for
after
1,
that.
I guess.
Does this player play in Texas?
Nope.
Has this player ever been teammates with Sadiq Bey?
Here, where Sadiq's playing right now.
I don't think he is playing right now.
Atlanta.
Like he's on a roster, but I don't think
tore his
he's
ACL.
Yeah.
So I think it's Atlanta.
The answer is no.
Man.
Has this player been traded?
No. This will be the last round, John. Question and a guess.
Has this player played with DeAndre Ayton?
Yes.
Is it Scoot Henderson?
Yes. Yep. Well done.
Nice.
What?
Sadiq Bey. Played
Yeah.
in Portland.
No.
I don't think so.
No. You're true.
Detroit and Atlanta.
Yep, that's it. You think you know better than Basketball Reference?
Does he only Sadiq Bey's only played in those two
Those two
places?
teams.
Who am I thinking of then?
I don't
Thinking
know.
of Jeremy Grant.
I am thinking of Jeremy Grant.
It's not
Because I was
him.
like, my brain was like Sadiq Bey, Scoot Henderson. Sadiq Bey, Scoot Henderson.
Yeah.
My
It is
bad.
not. It is not. Justin, why don't you recap that game for us? There,
That game right there?
Got 0.
Michael! 100 points.
Motherfucker.
Trey!
100 points all day?
None of them.
0.
No points. Hey, John, 200 big ones.
Hey.
That means
it's
I
A little rusty.
got 400 points.
All right. All right.
All right, congratulations. You did it. You did a good job.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you,
then
thank you,
let's,
thank you. What are we going to do?
we're going to gamble those points away in a segment that we like to do called Perhaps to You.
Another exciting edition of Props to You. Well, here we are, folks, as you can, I believe, see on the screen.
Here he is.
From worst to first, it's me. I've got Anthony Edwards.
Your
over-
worst?
I was last month.
Oh.
Now I'm in
Now
first.
he's first.
Currently.
Gotcha.
Anthony
Flip
Edwards
around.
over 26.5 points versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Tomorrow, I'm going to bet a big 100 points.
Wow.
John, from first to second, 1,800 points. You've got Paolo under hater bet, 42.5 points, rebounds, and assists versus the Atlanta Hawks. Of your 1,800, how many are you betting?
I'm gonna bet a nice 250.
Ooh.
250 big ones, Michael.
Hey.
Jason Tatum over 25.5 points versus the New York Knicks on Tuesday. How many points of your 1,600 are you betting?
Fuck it. 1,600.
1,600. Man,
I
pulling
haven't
Justin.
swung in a while. Let's
Hey,
go for it.
Call the
Trey,
number.
are you gonna let
what's the
him
hotline?
bitch you like that? He
He goes for 27.
Matas over 12.5 points versus the Cleveland Cavaliers on Tuesday. Yes, I misspelled it too.
I think he's
Yeah.
going to do it. I think he's going to hit over. I'm pretty confident about that. I am going to go 1,600 as well. I'm playing conservative
Where
this
is
year.
the hotline?
I'm playing conservative this year.
Hotline bling. Here we are.
We'll see you at the top.
There we are. Yeah. Well,
Wow.
hey, listen. There's a mountain and there's a top of it, and there's gonna be some people on there.
That is
So-
fun. What a fun time. I don't
Go
know why I
one
got
way
the
or the
itch to
other.
do 16. I just bet it all, burn it down. Cool. That is where we are. That is where it will be. That was the points, and that's what you will see. Folks, thank you so much for joining us today, everybody. We really do appreciate it. It's been a fun one. It's been a good one. It's been a chill one. It's been a long one, but it is what it is. This is kind of the normal now. Again, go to yabasketball.com for exclusive YB merch. yabasketball.com for your merch. Also, be sure to like, subscribe, rate 5-star, share with friends, and follow us at @yay_basketball on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Add me on the group. Just a reminder, we are recording live and streaming from the live studio, the Yay Studio.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
John, what do you got for the people?
For the people, look out for those Kings right now. That is something. We just talked about them being, I know. We just talked about them
I thought you were
being
being- I thought you were
way
being
out
serious.
of it. They're beating those Pistons that Trey likes so much handily right now. It's just some entertaining television. Surprises all around.
Hey,
Keep track.
anything
I'm
is
a Knicks
possible.
guy, not the Pistons. I'm playing conservative.
this
I like
year.
the Knicks over
Pistons
in
are
that
the
series.
Bust their
Okay.
ass.
Yeah.
What kind of like? Yes, the Kings did just beat the Pistons by 10, so it is what it is. You know my fucking problem is if Zach LaVine would have had the 43 he had tonight yesterday, I could have had a chance. But no,
Yeah.
no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna mean.
playoff final in our YB Fantasy League for all you freakies is Trey and Bob. Well done, Trey. Got me this week, and Bob beat Justin in the playoffs. So
He's beating me right now.
doing a showdown, so it should be a good time. They're getting a good little championship battle. Trey, what do you got for the people?
Well, guys, it's National Beer Day, so I know we got one fellow bartender in here. What's your guys' favorite beer? What's your go-to?
Oh, I mean,
If you go to a bar, what's your
I've been doing the Boulevard Light recently.
Boulevard Light?
Is it any good?
It's I like it more than like an Ultra.
It tasted
and
like
Ultra is typically my thing.
okay.
But
Okay.
also, that's just when I'm just trying to, because I don't really go. First of all, I haven't really been drinking much beer recently. But
As you can see from my crown, I am classy. So give me the champagne of beer.
no,
Let me live the high life.
no.
The Miller?
High life
All
for
right.
the win.
I'm honestly right now torn between root and ginger.
Yeah.
If I'm just being honest, both of those are my two favorites
Yeah.
currently.
Classics.
I was not a big beer guy anymore. Just like beer. You know what I mean? That's how, when I was, I will be drinking Alaskan beer. Going on that
Give me a
cruise with-
Boulevard Wheat.
But yeah, Boulevard Wheat's good.
When are you going on that cruise? It might
Couple
like,
weeks.
Oh, okay.
But like they have the Alaskan Brewing Company is very, very good.
That's true.
But
They
they
got
have,
some
they have
good
a
stuff.
spruce tipped beer up there
Hey.
made out of spruce trees. Very good, surprisingly.
Speaking of root beer, it was invented in Philadelphia.
Yeah, by
Charles Elmer Hires, a pharmacist.
he's my great uncle.
Okay. And it's time for your random weather update of the day. It's Philadelphia because that's where his root beer's from. It's cold and rainy, 44 degrees. But tomorrow you get a brand new day. It's sunny, 46 degrees. And then Wednesday, partly cloudy, 50. But then the rest of the week, boo, cold and rainy again. Sorry, Philly.
Honestly, not. I hate that place
That's why they're so mad all the time.
as a fan base.
shitty
Not like
weather.
not like as a city, but here's pretty great.
Okay.
I don't know.
Thanks, guys. It's been a fun one. What a fun time. Yay, basketball is always a good time thing to do. We love you, and I guess we'll see you next week then.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Yay, basketball.